Okay. I think we got it. I think we got it here. Hold on a second. We're almost there. Pipe pals. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, let's get the old coffee here. It's Friday evening in the second day of December. That's a really welcome cup of coffee there. Okay, so, well, good evening. How are you all doing? That coffee with this autumn breeze and this Ashton. Now that's a cherry wood. I absolutely adore this pipe. I shouldn't say adore. That sounds a little blasphemous almost. Scandalous, sacrilegious. But this is my Ashton pipe. Again, I bought it at the Briar Patch, about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. This is the king daddy of all cherry woods, okay? Let me just show you a regular cherry wood. If I can find one here. Aha. No. Here we go. Okay, this is my very first cherry wood. It's a Dun Hill there. I hope you can see all that. But compare it to this big daddy here. If you can see that or not. Let me see if I can do a little. Here we go. Okay, so here's my Ashton. Here's my regular. And then there they are together. How about that, huh? Now that's a cherry wood. It's a knife. That's a pipe. Okay. That has got to be probably the worst Australian accent ever. Okay, so here I am on a Friday evening about 8:30. And I just thought I'd try to do a little unwind video, a little relaxing video. Now, you probably see how massive this pipe is. And yes, it is filled to almost to the brim of pipe goodness here. And my goodness, that autumn breeze is just wonderful. Little Antonin Dvorak in the background there. Okay, so how are you all doing? Hope you're having a great evening, or had a great evening, or having a great weekend. I'm just taking some time to unwind and get ready for the weekend myself. Been out. I took a walk this evening, just after sunset, and looking at all the neighbors putting up their Christmas lights, and there's something nice about Christmas lights. I think I'll make a video about that maybe next time. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to a lot of people who made some comments. I always hope, I never say if I hope I'm saying this right. One of my viewers in Deutschland, Grizzly Mouse Bear, Michael, I believe your name is, Mikhail, or Mikkel. I don't know how you say that auf Deutsch, Michael. But long time viewer, and always has nice comments. So I haven't had a chance to respond to I saw a comment that you made. Well, I saw that you had made a comment. I didn't get a chance to read it all. I think, anyway, I apologize. I just want to apologize. So if you're watching the video tonight, thanks for sticking with me there, and really appreciate your patience. So I'll try to, if you can maybe re-email me with your question or your comment, or whatever it is, I'll try to answer. I promise. Okay. I think one of your comments, you said that one of my videos, and I'm hoping this will not be the same with the background music. Sometimes the background music will, unfortunately, in YouTube cancel me out, and I'm not even attempting to play music for a commercial purpose, and it's classical music, for crying out loud. I mean, it's a lot of classical music is technically in the public domain. It's just anyway. So I just want to kind of just say thank you to him and to other people who made comments. Hold on a second. My Dunhill's running out of lighter fluid. I have had a couple of people, God bless you, who have asked for my mailing address. And I know you want to be kind to the old Padre and send me something for Christmas. And I don't even know if they're doing the Secret Santa this year. I hope they are. But people, there's been a couple people that have inquired and then said, I'd like to send you a little gift. And, that's not necessary. It's thoughtful. It means a lot that somebody would want to send me something. But the only problem is with this pipe here, when I clench it, it puts a little bit of, I've been noticing a little TMJ going on here lately. I guess it's because I'm getting a little old or something, but I have to kind of be careful. If I clamp down too hard, I pay a price later on. So anyway, but thanks for the thought. I really want to say that's very kind of you. That's wonderful. I appreciate it. But at this point, I'll just have to say thanks, but no thanks. Just save your money, buy an extra nice gift for a friend or a family member, and just toss up a little prayer for your old Padre here, yours truly. Okay, I appreciate it. So anyway, there you go. And then I had a comment. Somebody said, how's the exercise and the diet thing going? Well, as of tonight, I have 20 days left on the no sugar thing for a year. And I'll probably give more of an in-depth review on that at the end. So in 20 days, I'll technically be off of the no sugar for the year. And then somebody asked me about, well, are you still doing exercises? And yes, the answer is yes. I still did my my walking and my pull-ups and my push-ups today. I've been doing that faithfully for just about the last year as well, every day with exception of Sundays. And so I'll probably be doing a 2016 review. I might even try to do a pipe review. Although I just, I feel kind of sad because I haven't really, I'm not near the briar patch like I used to be. If you have PAD, pipe acquisition disability or disorder, move away from the briar patch as soon as you can, because then you won't be spending all your money. I shouldn't say that because they're nice people there. So, but if you're near a nice tobacco shop and you're enjoying buying lots of pipes and good tobaccos and stuff, that's great. And I certainly went through a period about 2 or 3 years where, I was getting back into the hobby. A lot of people do that. Again, I've never been a daily pipe smoker. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to, there's a little bit of a, like I said, maybe TMJ or something there. I don't know if anybody else suffers from that. Especially this mammoth thing. Really set your jaw off, that's for sure. It's like one of those big, I guess I would equivalent to like those big brandy snifters, That thing's huge. So anyway, let me get a sip of coffee here. That's good. little autumnal coffee to go with my autumn breeze. Nothing better. So anyway, I completely forgot what I was going to say. Senior moment. Yeah, what was I saying? I can't rewind this thing. So I'm going to sit here on the when I replay it and I edit it. I'm going to go, oh, that's what I was saying. That's what I was trying to say. Well, moving right along again. So as far as I think I was talking about, yeah, fitness, health, diet, pipe acquisition disorder, not living by the briar patch. So I don't have. I don't know if I have a lot of really salient pipe tobacco things to share this coming year. In years past, I would talk about the pipe tobaccos that I tried, or share some of the pipes that I bought, and but I just haven't been able to do that. So I don't have anything in that line to share. And I know everybody like Yogi Experience used to have a really wonderful at the end of the year retrospective, and even if you didn't speak German, you could follow along pretty closely and say, oh, okay, he likes this, he doesn't like that, and it was always a good show. And again, I've been kind of hit and miss with my videos. Some of the other people I used to watch on a daily basis, I'm sad to say, I've kind of fallen away from kind of checking up on a lot of people. I'm just so busy, and I want to try to at least get caught up with a few people and kind of just see what they're up to. I'm sure they're still out there. Was it Astro Pipe or Astro Man? Or he always had some really interesting videos. He always had these really nice, kind of really exquisite pipes, but they were like really quality. And I think he lived in Thailand and made really great videos. Again, I have to apologize. I just have not really, other than maybe uploading an occasional video from time to time, I just have not really been participating in the community, and I should apologize for that, because I'm really just, I try to make a video to keep myself in the game, but unfortunately I'm not staying current with everybody else's videos. Especially I had a lot of people that I would follow on a daily, well, almost a day. When I was really had more time, I was following almost at least 20 or 30 people every day, and at least let's say 100 people at least every week. Kind of catching up. Again, not everybody was posting every day, and I know that there are a lot of new people out there that I have no clue as to who you are. And if you want me to check out your video, drop me a line and say, hey, check out my video. I'd like to know what you think, and I'd be glad to check it out. Not that I have any, pardon me, I have any, professional expertise or anything, but I could just, get a chance to know a little bit more about you. And if you're new to my channel and just kind of, curious as to what, if I'd be interested in your video, I like I said, drop me a line and comment and say, hey, check out my video. I've had a few people do that. I'll go, I'll watch the video and I'll give you a shout out, and I'll, on my channel, and also I'll, if you ask me to say, well, what did you think? I'll tell you. I'll tell you. That's guaranteed. I will tell you. Okay. So anyway, so the end of the year will be coming up in a few weeks. We still have yet to get through the holy season of Advent. All those of you who celebrate Advent, I wish you Advent peace. I wish you Advent joy. I wish you Advent hope. I wish you Advent love. Okay. and an Advent pipe. You know, Advent, well, I'm kind of getting a little ahead of myself because I want to save most of my more spiritual things for a little bit more later holiday video that I'm kind of, that's percolating in my old brain housing group. So we'll save some of those thoughts and comments for later. Okay, so I'm here. I'm going to be honest, I'm stealing a background from Gavin McGinnis, I think his name is, rebelmedia.com. Kind of a really interesting character. I mean, and I use the word character on purpose because he's a character like me. And us characters that we have to kind of stick together. But he's a Canuck, and I like him. And all these other Canucks up there that I have a few Canucks up there that really like me. And I'm sorry if that's offensive to you. I don't mean to be offensive. I mean it to be a term of endearment. So, you know, get over it. Stop being so doggone politically correct. You know, sometimes I think that's what I want to talk about kind of in this video. And I'm going to probably say some things that are going to be challenging. I want to challenge some people to think about some things. Because you know, we hear down, if you're in Canada and you know you're north of the border of the United States, you probably are aware that we went through an election. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't know that? Yeah, we had an election a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was really something too. Hillary Clinton won by this huge landslide. It's incredible. Now you're probably saying, that's not true. That's not true. Donald Trump won. Well, yeah, but he only won the electoral vote. That's the only one he won. The popular vote, Hillary Clinton won. And actually, they're going to fix that electoral thing here in a few days, a couple weeks from now. But I predict she's going to win by a huge landslide. I mean, what they're going to do, all those electors, they're going to become faithless electors, and they're just going to resoundingly vote for Hillary. And it's all over. It's all over. See, this is something that people have not foreseen except yours truly. So I'm just letting you know now that that's what's going to happen. So anyway. But we'll wait and see. Maybe, who knows what'll happen. I mean, I have got to the point of saying never say never because, you know, 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when they said Trump was never going to win, and, well, he won. I guess right now he won. Right now he's kind of the president-elect. But again, like I said, I'm expecting that probably going to change. You know, I really do. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. Stranger things have happened. But I wanted to say some things. I want to get a little serious here now. One of the news stories that I kind of want to get a little political tonight. I'm going to get a little political. So if you're somebody who's going to be easily upset and offended or triggered, or, you know, it's going to, you know, challenge your safe space, you can bounce now, and I won't be upset. It's okay. It's all right. But if you want to stay for the rest of the show, it's going to get a little intense. Yeah, it's going to get a little intense. Okay, let me get some coffee here. And that's why I got the old Ashton here, the Magnum, because I just really want to kind of delve into this, and I want to ask more. I'm not making a comment per se, but I am asking you to think about what I'm about to say. Now, what I'm about to say is going to challenge many of you. So I hope you're ready. Hope you're ready for this. My recommendation is, if you stuck with me this far, you know, get yourself a pipe, get a cup of coffee, or some other libation. It could be an adult libation. That's up to you. That's your choice. But anyway, so here we go. I'm trying to think how I want to say this, how I want to begin this thought. First of all, I've got to tell you, this is delicious. Wow. I'm right in that sweet spot of the pipe there. There's the beginning char light can be kind of flavorful and has its own little interesting tones. And the end of the bowl can sometimes have, well, it has its own peculiar personality, but it's usually in that like middle part where you've got the cake on top, you've got the cushion at the bottom there, and you just got the straight tobacco right there in the center. And those are those real rich flavors. So whatever the tobacco is, that's where you're going to find those flavors, I think. So sometimes I'll get really captivated by that, and I'll just kind of go, ooh, I got to enjoy this just for a second. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Sort of like, sometimes the joy of food isn't in the eating of it, it's in the aroma of the food. I can be fasting, and I feel like I'm cheating if I can go into a room where people are cooking really nice, fragrant food, aromas. And even though some people, wouldn't that make you mad for hunger and make you, well, no, actually, I can enjoy those wonderful flavors that I'm smelling, or, those aromas. And it's kind of like a secondary thing that it's kind of like, I'm okay with that. Maybe some people might drive them nuts, but I don't have a problem with that. So that's what it is with the pipe. So anyway, okay, so let me start this thought off. Here we go. Flags can be very triggering, okay? There's a college, I think it's Hampshire College, somewhere up in the East Coast, that has banned the flying of the American flag because they feel that it's upsetting to some people, some groups. And there's a real kind of a backlash coming back on them for basically outlawing the flying of the flag. And I've heard this from other people too, like right after 9/11, there was a real wave of patriotism. People were flying Old Glory, and people were painting the stars and stripes on the back of buildings and barns and all sorts of things. And for a while there, and I'm not going to be ashamed to say this, I felt good about that. I felt that it was pulling the nation together. That's what I thought. That's what I felt. That's what I still believe. I do think America is a wonderful country. I'm grateful and blessed to have been born here. But I found out, a few weeks later after watching C-SPAN, that obviously there were a lot of people who didn't feel the same way. In fact, they were angry. They were afraid. They were upset. Now, let me say this about that. I noticed that the same types of people that were protesting were almost identical. I mean, this goes back to 2001, right after 9/11. I noticed that the same groups of people seemed to magically appear right after Brexit, back in June of this year, and the same groups of people manifested themselves the night of the election, or the next night after Donald J. Trump won, president-elect. Of course, we know that's going to change. I got this doggone gurgle in the pipe. I don't like that. I don't like that about big long stem pipes. They just do that, and unfortunately, that's just something you have to put up with. That's why you always have to have lots of pipe cleaners. Yeah. Okay. So I noticed that obviously there were a lot of people who didn't like the flying of the United States flag. Because they said it was, it engendered fear in certain groups of people. So flags can be triggering for some groups of people. So let me ask you this question. So if let's take another scenario. Let's say there's a Jewish family that lives across the street, and just think of kind of like New York and apartments, whatever. And the person directly opposite this Jewish family, put out a Nazi flag. And they knew that the people across the way that would see that flag, they knew that they were Jews. They knew that. Let's say there's a black family in Alabama. Could be Mississippi, could be California for all I care. And right next door to them, across the street, another family moves in and they put out a Confederate flag, full well knowing that there's a black family over there. And they're doing it to kind of send them a message. And if you really want to get really extreme, well, what do you do when people were trying to send messages to black people in the South? Well, you just burn a cross on their lawn. That's all you have to do. Which leads me to this question that I have for you. I saw this article about Vice President-elect Pence, not Trump. And I forgot what neighborhood he's going to be moving into, but there are people who are mounting a campaign to fly the rainbow flag. And I have to ask you, my question is, isn't that also invidious? Because if those other examples that I cited were clearly people using the flag to incite some type of, negative, angry emotion to the people that they're trying to broadcast a signal to, whether it's a Nazi flag in the face of a Jewish family, the Confederate flag in the face of a black family, and it could be you could even fly a Confederate flag if they knew they were Jews or Catholics even. But still, you get the point. So what's the difference if people are now trying to supposedly fly rainbow flags in the face of Mike Pence's new home? I really think that's a question that I want to ask. Isn't it not the same thing? You see, here's part of the problem as I see it. Now, we live, of course, in a secular society, and that secular society basically does have a separation between church and state. And that means that, the church can't tell the state what to do or what to believe, But it also means that the state cannot tell the church what it should do or believe. Now, I have to say a couple things here. We live, obviously, in a divided America. And people are free, if they so choose, to have same-sex marriage. You know, that's your choice. But again, you have to understand there are people that will not agree with you or see it your way. At the same time, I don't think they're trying to say, we're going to outlaw that. You can't do that anymore. Even Donald Trump said, it's the law of the land, and he's not going to touch that. And the problem has been, I think, in the last 10 years, I'd say that's basically it. It's a very new concept. I mean, this whole notion of the rainbow flag is almost like a shadow government or a shadow nation, if you will. But it's based upon a certain lifestyle or certain lifestyles. And on one hand, in a secular society, and it is protected by law, hey, you can do what you want to do. And, you know, that's your right. Okay, that's your call. But here's where the problem has been degenerating into. You look at a lot of people who were really angry at the outcome of the election, and they're angry for, I think, one reason. They're angry because their agenda is not going to be going forth the way they wanted it to. And what did they want? And I'm not saying all people that believe in same-sex marriage or some of these new transgendered ideas. I'm not saying everybody feels this way. I know a lot of people probably do. But there is a large percentage of people on that side of the issue who don't want opposition. They want to basically force the rest of the country to basically become, in thought, homogeneous. Okay, we're all going to see this as one thing, and you can't deviate. And that's where the problem has been. And I think, to be very honest and frank with some of you who might be on the other side, I think that part of the reason why the America voted the way it did was because a lot of people, honestly, for whatever that's moral convictions based on the scriptures or their church teachings or their family upbringing or their whatever it is, they don't agree with that. They just simply don't agree. I would say, honestly, they don't hate the individuals. They don't. It's just that, you know, like for me, if a same-sex couple comes to me and says, we want to get married in your church, I can't do that. I don't have the authority to do that. The Catholic Church has no category for recognizing and performing a marriage for same-sex couples. It just doesn't exist. Now, in civil law, people can get married, and that's your call, okay? But the problem is that a lot of people aren't happy with that. They're not satisfied with that. They want to force people who disagree. I don't say discriminate. They just disagree based upon biblical morality that, I'm sorry, I can't recognize that. If you want to, live that way, that's your call. And I personally am not going to, condemn you. I mean, if you came and asked me from a Catholic perspective, what does the church teach about that issue? I will go through the catechism and I will explain that to you. And hopefully, at least if you don't understand or you don't agree, at least you can be enlightened and you say, okay, I didn't understand what the church taught in regards to this issue. But as far as trying to come and outlaw and make your lifestyle illegal and put you in concentration camps, that's definitely not going to happen. But I want to say that I think that there are many people, and you look at the protesters. Look at the protesters. Look how angry they are. And a lot of them are just, they are kind of out for blood. Because I think in some ways, a lot of people felt that they were going to be able to force the rest of America to say, you have to agree with us and you can't disagree anymore. And I'm afraid that a lot of people, good people who are very just trying to go about their life, who quietly in their hearts say, I'm sorry, I disagree. I think they probably said, you know what, this is wrong. You're trying to force us to accept things that we just can't accept. Now, again, if you want to live that way and you want to, that's the way you want to orientate your life, well, you live in a secular society that gives you, that makes that legal. You have a legal right to do that, and no one's questioning that. But what I think a lot of people were kind of rebelling against or saying enough's enough is, no, you're not going to force your agenda on us anymore. I really do believe that there was a lot of that in this last election. I really believe that. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know, you can say, oh, you crazy old man, you don't know what you're talking about. And maybe I don't. Maybe there's another perspective. But I'm just telling you what I think I'm seeing, especially when I watch a lot of the young protesters. They're flying rainbow flags. And here's a real rich one for you, talking about flagology here, is a lot of them will be flying a rainbow flag and right next to it's a communist flag. Excuse me, a communist flag? You know, a red flag with a hammer and sickle? Old Soviet Union? La dee, la da dee, da dee, da dee, da 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 da. Anyway, can't sing National right now, but I dare say go to Russia and see how that gay agenda is treated there. So I'm saying that there's some really weird things that are going on with the people that are rioting in the streets. A lot of them, I think, are just scared and afraid, and yeah, they're angry. And a lot of them are just kids out basically to have a good time, to go around and smash things up. So that's the one thing I wanted to kind of talk about, is the how the flag is used as symbols. You know, sometimes it can be a good thing, as in, you know, being patriotic. Now again, some people think that, you know, that America is horrible and it needs to be deconstructed. Maybe not destroyed, but definitely deconstructed. Some of my anarchists out there, they know what I'm talking about. Because they don't feel America was ever great. It was just this horrible, evil empire and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So patriotism is just a bad thing. The other thing that seems to be kind of part and parcel with going all along with the other issue is, you know, the dear Muslim people. And I had to work, well, don't say that sounds kind of like I was this onerous thing. I worked with a imam. I actually worked with a couple of the imams, and I found them to be wonderful, very kind people, good, solid, hardworking. This one imam, he didn't have a contentious bone in his body. We had to work things out when it came to Good Friday and Juma, and he was always amenable and accommodating, and I always tried to meet him more than halfway, and he always met me more than halfway. We never had a single disagreement, not one, in the 5 years that I worked with the man. He was very soft-spoken. He was a very kind person, and I even sat in on a couple of his classes on fasting on Ramadan, and even talked to him about what were the principles of fasting in Ramadan. So, you know, very, very insightful, and, you know, had a lot of things to teach me as a Christian and as a Catholic. But some, I have to say, again, and this whole thing about racist is a little bit of a misnomer, because Islam is not a race, it's a religion. So you just because you're opposed to radical Islam doesn't mean you're a racist. I mean, how can you be a racist when you're talking about a religion? So if people are against Catholics, that makes you a racist. No, it just means you don't like Catholics. And there are a lot of them out there. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem when you say, you can't teach what your church teaches anymore. We're going to outlaw that. And we will put you in jail. Because that's what is coming, probably, maybe not in the next 4 years, but if a certain person got into office, I really believe that it was just a matter of time before, well, I guess in Canada. Sorry, Canucks. I mean, there's one thing I really don't like about some of you guys up there, guys and gals up there, is you have actually made it illegal. What the heck is that? I'm looking at my thing over here and it looks like it's melting. Melting? That doesn't look good. I'm gonna have to check that out. That doesn't look right. Anyway, but it's I've been told that it's a hate crime or a hate speech if you preach what the Bible teaches in church nowadays. Again, there's the state telling the church what it can and cannot do, and that's happening. They're trying to enforce that here in America, and it's probably, well, it may not happen for a while now, but again, I think it's still we're still okay if we want to teach and preach. And again, I know some of you say, well, that's hate, it's hate. No, it's not hate. It's just we disagree. Again, we don't have a category. Let's be honest. This whole, the right for same-sex couples to marry has only been about 18 months, folks. And you're asking a church of 2,000 plus years to all of a sudden automatically acquiesce to your beliefs. Now, there are some nominal denominations that have decided that, okay, for whatever reason, I don't want to judge them, they're going to go ahead and, alter their understanding of Scripture, and that's their call. Again, I don't judge any other faith group. I only am responsible for mine, and mine's pretty clear on these issues. That's all I can say. But anyway, getting back to the dear Muslim people, I have nothing against Muslim people. I have nothing against any different religion or culture or race or ethnic group. I just don't. But I do have a problem with people that want to come and live in America, but they don't want to be Americans. And I know I got some flack from one of my viewers. I said, I believe that, naturalization, and helping these people to become American citizens, what's wrong with that? And somebody really took umbrage with me saying that. But we have to remember that we live in a nation of laws. And it's not immoral to ask people to live by the law. And although it's kind of fashionable for social justice warriors to, talk about globalization and globalism and how, evil nationalism is, well, you know what? I don't know what you're smoking in your pipe, ladies and gentlemen, but I know what I'm smoking in mine. And I'm sorry, but globalization, doesn't mean that you throw down your borders and just let anybody and everybody in. And, that's sort of like the opening up to the barbarian hordes, And that's what's happened in Europe to some extent. The people that are struggling with the problems that are happening. Again, we're not trying to vilify whether it's Syrian refugees or any kind of refugees, but there are problems now in France and Germany and in Sweden that people don't want to talk about. And I'm afraid that if you try to do the old ostrich thing, it's only going to get worse, not better. Laws protect people. Again, if you're here on a student visa, you're here on a worker visa, that's great. You're welcome. But if you have, snuck in under the radar and you have no loyalty to this country that provides these benefits that many of you are receiving, whether it's education or welfare or family assistance or whatever, or medical, and you kind of, it'd be like if somebody came into your home, just walked into your home, a stranger, and said, you get out of here, we're moving in. You'd say, I don't think so. And so in many ways, that's what is kind of happening. The other side of this whole thing is that if you are, there's a lot of quote unquote fear. They're talking a lot about sanctuary cities. Again, people are trying to, what's the word? How would I want to say this? They want to basically kind of glorify lawlessness. Now, I know the anarchists out there probably love that. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, laws make society work. Can they be oppressive at times? Or can they be used as oppression? Maybe at times. Talk about the IRS. Let's don't go there. By the way, I love the IRS. I think the IRS is great. Wow. If you're anybody from the IRS is watching, hey, love you guys, gals. Doing a great job out there. How many people love April 15th? Raise your hand. Everybody. I knew it. All right, great. But just think about this. Again, laws bring order and safety to our country. And if you don't believe that, then ask yourself, what would happen if we didn't have, oh no, the little, this little beautiful thing here, the little bobbin came off? And I have no idea. I bet you my kitty cat probably did that. My little kitty cat probably chewed that off. Oh, doggone it. Sad about that. Oh well, kitty cats do that. But anyway, so if you're here on a student visa, worker visa, if you're just visiting, to get a good cultural experience, that's great. But like when I was in Germany, I'm going to say this, and for my German friends, don't be too harsh with me, okay? Because I was really trying. I tried to study German in high school. As many of you probably know from some of my older videos, I was actually studying some German just a couple of years ago. We had a German lady in our parish who taught German studies, and I just thought it was great. Why not learn with this opportunity? And then I got moved, and so obviously, it's 2 hours drive one way, so I can't take lessons anymore. I was really sad about that because I was really enjoying it. It was just good to start learning another language. But when I got to Germany, this is almost 20 years ago now, we had a really fun German teacher. She was a neat lady. She looked like she was like a German movie star. She was really a beautiful woman. Maybe a little more on the elderly side. I wouldn't say elderly, but she wasn't young, but she was still had this joie de vivre about her, and she was really just gorgeous woman, and she was fun. She was just a lot of fun. She really entertained the Americans with learning language. She made you want to learn the language. And that's a rare teacher, let me tell you. When a teacher can make you want to learn something, and especially a language. Languages are difficult. And so anyway, I just was captivated by her. And what she would do is she would encourage you after the lesson, okay, take what you've learned, just the few phrases you've learned, and go and practice with some of the people in Baumholder. And at the time, I used to love fast food. I still do. And by the way, the McDonald's in Deutschland, in Germany, I think is like 10 times better than here in the United States. The food really was fresher. I just loved it. It actually was delicious. Now, some of you are probably cringing to hear me say that, but you're going to cringe even more when you hear this. So anyway, I was really excited. I learned a few. I thought, I can order now auf Deutsch. I'm going to go through the drive-through, and I'm going to order my meal, my first McDonald's meal in German. So I drive up to the little thing, the little speaker, and the person, how can I help you? And I said, ja, ich möchte zwei Big Mac und ein großer Pommes frites mit ein großer Cola. And the voice came back, although it was a German accent, but a very clean, precise English. So you want 2 Big Macs, a large fry, and a Coke, is that right? Ja, das ist richtig. So, yeah. Anyway, so I just felt so deflated. But at least I tried. And I even thought for a moment, I think I said this in one of my other earlier videos, of even immigrating for a while, for maybe a few years to stay in Germany, or maybe I was going to go to the UK, one of the two. I really thought about it seriously. I thought, well, why not see if I could be a padre abroad for a few more years, really live on the real economy, not just the American base, but really live inside a German home, a town, and really kind of learn the culture and the language and just get that experience. So again, I would not be looking, again, would it be frustrating for the first 6 months to a year? But that's part of the learning process, and learning the culture, learning the history. But I'm afraid, and I hope I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, that a lot of these Muslim people, and again, I know that might sound harsh to say this, but I don't think they really want to integrate with quote-unquote Western society. They seem to always be aloof. We had a lot of Muslim people that lived in Elk Grove, and sadly, I would go by and watch soccer games, and everybody was on, all the families were all gathered along, and the Muslim people would be way off to themselves, all by themselves. And they wouldn't integrate, they wouldn't socialize. Now, again, I don't know their religion, I don't know what they're forbidden to do, so again, I want to be sensitive to that. But at the same time, if you're not going to try some assimilation and enculturation, why are you here? And again, are you here just to basically bring about your culture and try to supplant the native culture? Again, some people would say maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. Other than they didn't seem to be very friendly. Although I had one small little encounter with one person in the market, just one, and they seemed to be very vivacious and normal in as far as normal goes, but they certainly didn't really engage other than just kind of a simple pleasantry, and it was kind of like an awkward thing. I don't know if they bumped into me or whatever, but they were very polite and everything. But they didn't really go any further than just to say I'm sorry and excuse me. But that was more than I've ever had anybody even say before in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years that I was there, seeing them almost on a daily basis in the stores and on the streets and everything. So anyway, I don't know, basically, where the country's going. I know a lot of people are concerned about, where we're going, but I do think there is a division in the country. I think that's pretty clear. I think it's obvious. Excuse me. And I think, and this is my old Holy Smoking Pie Padre recommendation, is that people try to not force people to accept your religion, your agenda, your politics, your philosophy, and just accept people where they are. See, I think that's where people were getting kind of a bloodlust. They kind of thought, okay, now we're going to push this thing all the way in and make people accept our agenda. And if you don't, you're going to pay the consequences. And I think that's wrong. I think that is dead wrong, because America is a land of, it is a melting pot. Again, we all enjoy, hopefully we can all say we all enjoy the same blessings of liberty that, if you're a Muslim, you're a legal American citizen, you are an American. You enjoy the same liberties that I do. If you are, somebody from Appalachia, you're somebody from Detroit, you're somebody from Arizona or New Mexico or Idaho or California or Washington State, and you're an American. You're an American, okay? There are just billions, well, not billions, but there are millions of Americans, and we all are different. And that's part of life. It does make us unique. Makes us unique. Sometimes it does make us better. But when we allow the differences to divide us and kind of say, we're going to impose our will on the rest of people and they better get in line or else, that's wrong. That's wrong. Again, disagreement's not wrong, but trying to force people and intimidate people, whether you're using flags or you're using language or you're using violence, that's wrong. And I think a lot of people felt that that's what was happening. And I think people wanted to say, we were sending a message saying, enough's enough, okay? You have a right to your life, but we have a right to our life as well. And if we disagree, we disagree. And that's the end of it. Well, I feel better now. Anyway, I hope that you guys followed me this far. I hope you had a good pipe and maybe, like I said, an adult libation. Maybe you need an adult libation now after this, my little diatribe here. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because it was kind of percolating in the old soul there. And I just thought, well, you know what, a little bit of extrication there, a little bit of a pipe-tificating might help a little bit. So if you got something out of it, great. Leave me a comment. If you agree, disagree, why, thumbs up, thumbs down. It doesn't matter. It's all good at the end of the day because you're watching. That's it. That's the ticket. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Next video, I promise, will be a little bit more lighthearted. We're going to talk more about holiday things, fun holiday things. I promise. See you next time. And light up your world, light up your pipe. See you now.